There's 150 buildings had Injectaclad material put in them throughout the country. And with 40,000 buildings still to do of remedial work in the country, which is going to take 10, 15 years to do, we're now well placed to gain larger market share moving forward.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Light Science Technologies CEO Simon Deacon. Simon, very good to speak with you. You're up to your full year 25 results. What were the key achievements during the period?
Good morning, Stephen. The key achievements really were, for us for 2025, it was, transitioning period for us. We're transitioning to focus more on creating a platform for higher margin throughout the divisions. So we saw gross margin increase for the group 11.5%. AgTech grew in revenue over 18%. And we've seen more jobs being and applications for Injectaclad being specified with the BSR, which is really good news. We've seen 14 new clients within our contract electronics manufacturing, and we're really moving to make sure that we've got the higher concentration now is more spread, and we're focusing on that leveling up of revenue, which is pushing the margins up and scaling the business really for H2 of this year and into 2027. So it's really a transformational year and transitional year for the group like Science Technologies Holdings, and now that's done, we've put ourselves in a really good position moving forward, especially with the fundraise of 6.6 million.
Simon, how important is the portfolio rebalancing and how have you achieved this?
Rebalancing's really happened through AgTech and PFP. And you would have seen in the financial results for 2024, when those revenues in AgTech and PFP grew with higher margins, there's in passive fire, there's over 50%, and I'll come on to that in a bit. But in AgTech also, it's over 40% in gross margins. So as the revenues grow, and level out with the contract electronic side of the business, you're starting to then to see the growth. And in 2024, we saw EBITDA, profit and cash generative business as those divisions grew. And that's what we want to achieve moving forward. And now we can do that with that key acquisition that we've done with Injectaclad.
How do you plan to continue improving margins and to achieve profitability, Simon?
We continue to do that as we see moving forward. We've really progressed with, the Building Safety Regulator has moved departments from the health and safety executive, and that happened to the housing of ministry at the end of January of this year. So it's only just happened. But what we're seeing is them really starting to do a good job there. And we're starting to see jobs being approved. So we see growth by educating the people and key stakeholders in the BSR, owners, occupiers, fire engineers and architects in the passive fire protection side. And in AgTech, we really see the drivers moving forward by getting resellers. We've serviced over 30 glass houses here in the UK, providing lighting, sensors and our environment computer. But what we really see the transition internationally is getting those resellers on board and driving those so that we can continue that growth that we're looking for in the mid-term of 50 million revenue for the group and really strengthening and moving forward.
Can you remind us of the rationale for fully acquiring Injectaclad?
It's really given us the opportunity. It's a transformational acquisition for the group. Injectaclad have the material that we put into the building. It's had over 100 tests of Warrington fire. There's 150 buildings had Injectaclad material put in them throughout the country. And with 40,000 buildings still to do of remedial work in the country, which is going to take 10, 15 years to do, we're now well placed to gain larger market share moving forward. And we really do see the quoted pipeline in that division, which is over 20 million growing, because we're not counting the Injectaclad actual quoted pipeline at this stage, just the installation. And we've also inherited 11 key installers of Injectaclad who will also have their own quoted pipeline, probably of 10 million each. For those 11. So it's a really exciting opportunity to gain growth moving forward.
Simon, what are the implications of BSR's recent statements and recent regulatory progress for the PFP division?
They've made really good progress. You know, in the last 9 months, it's been extremely slow and agonizing in some respects. But now it's moved. They've made really good progress. As I mentioned earlier, we've educated 34 individuals at BSR. And as I say, once a project goes into BSR, it gets specified. And from when it gets specified, you know, then you're going to get the work going through. So it's just a matter of time. But what they've done is they want to reduce the time it takes down to 12 weeks to approve a project. And that's really exciting for us because, as you know, we've got a backlog. There's that bottleneck, and releasing that bottleneck in H2 of this year and moving into 2027 really gives us good forward visibility.
What do you see as the key growth drivers for the AgTech and CEM division, Simon?
In the CEM, you know, we see it in the news a lot, and we've moved forward on this, 18 months ago. But we're moving into that defence and getting the right accreditations in the contract electronics. We've been to a lot of trade shows. We've started gaining those accreditations, and we see, there's over 30 billion was spent here in the UK on defence last year, and we see that only increasing. And we want to be part of that. We've done defence work in the past, but we want to be further up the tiers with higher margin work. So in CEM, it's very much about defence, healthcare, and medical, because they will bring those key higher margins that we've seen. In CEM alone, we've seen an 18% increase in the gross margin, which is really promising. What we see in AgTech and where we see our driving points there really is resellers. We've got a really strong customer base here. We've won numerous contracts in recent months. One with NTU, which was a £460,000 project, moved up to 600 post year end. For revenue, and that project is starting and will be completed in this financial year. And also we won a project for another university in Wales, which was 300,000. So I expect really good, strong growth there in AgTech this year. And internationally, it's all about resellers, packaging it up so resellers can sell our product. And we ship product to Mexico, Australia, Brazil, Poland, Germany last year, and that continues to happen. So I really expect some recurring revenue starting to come through in 2027.
In the meantime, what's your management's broader expectations for full year 2026, Simon?
Management's expectations really is second half loaded. We've had that blockage in BSR, and we're expecting to see that now being released. So there'll be a really good push on passive fire protection with owning the Injectaclad. And we've only just got our hands on that acquisition only a week ago, and we're already seeing signs of that happening. So we expect a strong H2 as that bottleneck gets released and the margins increasing, and then really going for a promising 2027 and beyond, because we're in a very fortunate position to have a strong balance sheet with that fundraise of 6.6 million.
Simon, I hope you'll continue to keep us updated with your progress. Thanks for your time today.
Thank you very much, Stephen. Thank you.
Simon Deacon, the CEO of Science Technologies.